just before we start, what racial slurs should I not say? Let's just go over them.
Welcome to the Liars Club. This is where we're going to have our comics tell two stories. One's true, one's a lie. We're going to try to figure out which is which. You guys get on the YouTube and comment and help us out, figure out which is which. I'm Jessica Wellington.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm Felicia Michaels.
You look horrible.
I'm not. I'm Austin still.
And Austin, can you introduce our guests, please?
I would love to. To your left, this Italian-Canadian comedian is a Last Comic Standing alum. You've seen her on Conan and on Comedy Central. Her latest album, Lady Jazz, received a Comedy Album of the Year nomination for the Juno Awards of 2019.
Yeah.
This is Miss Debra DiGiovanni.
Hello.
Woo!
Hello, everyone.
I once saw her at a Starbucks.
Wow.
I did, and I rolled down with Jeff! And she's like, who? Jeff Dye, remember?
Bringing
Like a
black
decade ago.
coffee.
Thank you so much for coming. And
gosh,
I don't want
pleasure.
this to come off weird,
Uh-oh.
but it probably will because now I said that.
I know. There's no way.
Yeah.
But I think you're really pretty.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you. That's
Yeah, you have like
nice.
perfect lips.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. This is so
And you have
nice.
the dimples.
Is this a lie or is this
It's
true?
getting weirder. Yeah.
Have we started? Is it started? It's cold-blooded. It's cold-blooded.
No, I'm serious. Every time I
Thank
see
you.
you, I'm
That's
just like,
nice.
you're so pretty.
That's lovely. Thank you very much.
That was the truth. I think her next one's going to be a lie.
Yeah,
When she's-
Whatever they say about you, let's hear the intro.
oh, great.
So, to my right, this fella, you probably got to know him on Last Comic Standing as well. You may have seen him on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, or hanging with legends Henry Winkler, William Shatner, Terry Bradshaw, and George Foreman on NBC's Better Late Than Never. Comedy Central and MTV's Seducer of Beautiful Celebrity Women. It's Mr. Jeff Dye.
That's a fact. Thank you. Yes.
That's the lie.
And who
I'm
are
old.
those women?
Oh, all sorts of ladies.
Because I was told to ask you by a guy named Mike Calta in Tampa. You were
Oh,
on a show a few years
yeah.
ago.
He's the best. Well, I've dated like pro wrestlers and pop stars and just women that are successful. I like them.
Okay.
Pop stars? Who pop
Yeah.
stars? Oh, no,
Yeah.
is this, have we started? Are we all lying?
Yeah,
I don't
we're
know.
all
What's
lying.
happening?
We're not lying yet. We're not doing the game yet.
And I don't want to sound weird, but
I
you
want to
know.
know.
Boy, I'd
Okay,
like
tell
to
me
fuck that Joe Jonas. Is that weird?
Yes, because you're supposed to say Nick.
Oh,
but whatever.
gosh,
It's
sure.
weird that
yeah.
you like Joe.
Well, Joe's the one I know.
Joe, yeah.
You get who
He's
you can
handsome.
get.
Exactly.
Not
Let's
who you
be
want.
picky. A Jonas. Exactly. Look at me. All
I
right.
like that you'll date a wrestler. You're not afraid of a woman that's stronger than you.
I love women. Grew up in a house full of ladies. Yeah, support it. The women's movement. There's no joke. I think everyone was
Great.
waiting for a joke.
I know. Like, and.
Yeah.
no.
Also, I could probably still beat her up. I'm
Oh.
I'm 6'4". I'm a giant. You know, I wouldn't try, but
Yeah, but she could probably put you in like a chokehold. You'd be
wrestling's
dead.
choreographed. It's all predetermined.
If you want to be in a
Yeah.
chokehold.
Yeah, no, I've done that. Yeah, it's been great. You know, I will say the bad part about dating a female wrestler is that she gets all these nicks and bruises and bumps, and then we go out in public together, and everyone's looking at like, hey, I'm like, no, because not everyone
her
watches
job.
wrestling, so it just looks like I'm some spousal abuser, and then I have to be like, no, I didn't do that. Ric Flair's daughter did that, and everyone's just like, what? That's not real. I was like, all right, she fell.
Okay, you guys.
All right.
Jeez.
Sorry.
I should say I'm so busy trying to be Felicia right now that we're missing Felicia.
Aw,
We need some
she's-
order.
Hey, Felicia.
Yeah, we miss her a lot. She's sick right now, so everybody send her good vibes and whatever you do to help people.
Maybe we could have the fans
Pray.
send her like a care package. What's her home address? Just tell her so they can
She just
send.
moved, so honestly, I'm not sure. She lives in a trailer now, so I'm
Convenient.
rubbing off on her. But
Wait, she lives in a trailer now? Oh, that was a cold ass call out.
but let's get this game started,
All right.
and you guys start commenting on YouTube if you.
Ken Lofgren's already here, of
He's
course.
already here. Ken, great.
Okay, so since
love
it's my
Ken.
first time, maybe some people that are watching it's first time, can we go over the rules?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Or how it's going to go down?
You're all both going to tell two stories. Okay, we're going to go Debra, Jeff.
Yep.
Debra, Jeff.
Okay.
And during the stories, though, like, what if I like want to ask something while she's talking?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's part of it.
So we can interrogate each other.
Okay.
You guys can both guess for each other
Okay.
who you think's lying, and we'll take a vote online and all that good stuff.
Perfect. Okay.
Sound good?
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right, let's start with Debra because that's
Okay.
what I said.
Okay, so first story is this. I am, I just got back from Denver this morning, and I am one of those little precious flowers.
So far, it's true.
So far, it's true. I'm a delicate rose, and I get very I get all the air sickness, motion sickness.
Oh.
I'm one of those people. And the first time that I ever went to Denver, I can't remember what club I was performing. I was headlining. It was fine, and I'd gotten off the plane. I was like, I don't feel well. Like, just something feels wrong. You know, people are like, oh, altitude sickness. You know, I was like, okay. And then I was like, whatever. Don't ignore them. I was like, that sounds
You
made
slowly
up. That sounds
patronize
made
it.
up. I was like, whatever. Shut up, doctor. And then I was, okay, I'm going to have a sandwich before the show. Can't do it. And the fact I'm like, no, this isn't happening. And then I was on stage, everything's going great. They let me. They were like, it was one of those clubs that were like, we're gonna give you a 10-minute light, then we'll give you a 5-minute light. I was like, okay, great. And they gave me the 10-minute light, and then I just knew I was gonna vomit. Like just that moment, I was just like, this is happening right now. So I it's the unstoppable feel. You can't stop it. Like I was like, I'm gonna vomit. So my brain was like, okay, Deborah, let's just keep this. Like, just get through it, breathe. And I had to leave. I had to leave stage. Like I was like, okay, everyone, you've been great, but I'm gonna throw up. Like
but
literally,
you made it off stage.
I went and it was one of the clubs. It was the setup of it, and the host, God bless, was standing right there, and they're like, what? I like shook their head. I was like, I'm literally gonna throw up. And then I ran off the stage, and the green room, the door was like 2 feet away, thank God. I opened the green room door and projectile vomited all over the green room. So if there had been a comic sitting in that green room,
or a server,
or anyone, I would have covered them in my DNA. I was so sick. And then that happened, and then there was the little
Your
bathroom.
opener, anything wasn't in there?
Nobody was in there, thank God. And then I went, like, they had the little connected bathroom. I couldn't find the light, and then just spray painted that room with my own vomit as well. And like literally just lay there. And then someone eventually knocked the door and I heard them there. Oh my God! And I was lying in my own filth in Denver. And then I spent like 9 hours in the emergency room, and it cost me $7,600. But luckily I had insurance and I didn't have to pay anything. But all the
no
doctors,
copay or anything?
nothing at all. All the doctors were also hot, and I was making jokes about that. Between throwing up and getting, whatever they put into my face.
Were you sober at this time?
I was sober at this time. Yeah.
So were people like, "Oh my God, we think Deborah's off the wagon"?
See, that was the big thing. I was so upset because I was like, everyone's gonna think that I'm drunk, and I was like, I'm not. I'm sober. I'm just very sick.
I like you told the crowd, "This has been great. I'm gonna go puke now."
See, I mean,
thought
that's
she
the
liked
thing.
us.
I know, exactly. You've been great, but I have to retch. Yeah.
What ended up being wrong with you?
It was altitude sickness. Some people get it really, really badly, and I am apparently one of those people that get it very, very badly.
So how do you fly now with like certain
Like
eye patches?
It's like.
Wait, are you a doctor?
I like to. I also dress up as a pirate quite often, but it's really it's just like going to Denver. Like I have to get a Telluride at the end of the summer. And like anywhere that's high is where I have to take medication and stuff.
Yeah, you have to bring a parrot.
Yeah, I got
do the whole thing.
You know what I mean? Try not to get scurvy and lots of oranges. But
I love your question.
So there you go.
Wow, well, way to really start off with a
bang.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You must. I mean, it's pretty humiliating. But like I imagine your entire life, you just are making jokes. That's how I like to picture you.
Yeah.
I don't
that club though. Like I was just like so. I guess I'm not going to be rebuked then, is what you're saying.
I guess you don't need me to hang my headshot.
Have you ever been close like that again? Like
never.
Being sick?
But now it is my like ultimate fear though now it's just like
I've almost pooped on stage.
Oh gosh.
I had food poisoning.
I don't know which one's worse.
I had food poisoning once, and my body didn't do anything till after the show.
Oh.
I had it before the show, nothing, and then after, like my body kicked into some sort of performance
some sort of
mode.
like adrenaline kind of vibe. Yeah.
Weird. Wait, so here's why I might know if it's a lie or a truth.
Okay.
What was the name of the comedy club? Because I'll be able to do it based on the description of the green room being close and all the different
You
stuff.
said Denver.
Was there an improv in Denver?
Yeah, there's a Denver improv.
Then it was the improv.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, way to really play that one up.
Was there?
Yeah. But there is a Denver improv.
It was the Denver Den of Jokes, which is probably a comedy club name.
You wouldn't know it, Jeff.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it. We were at different clubs.
We're on different circuits.
Well, that was great. Way to really start that one off. Is anybody
that.
saying about anything about Deborah's story?
Not about Deborah's story. Everybody's tuning in. Everybody's getting on board. Leah really wants to talk Bigfoot with Jeff. I told her,
he better have a Bigfoot story.
I told her we'll get to that, after our lies and stuff. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, Leah. And Jeff, you want to do your story?
Yes, I have every embarrassing thing from my life tends to be when I was younger.
Sure.
I was a weird kid. Looking back on, God, why would I do those things?
You're weird now.
I know, but I wasn't very confident then. At least now, I just own everything.
Right, I get that.
Whereas, at that age, I was so confused about girls, and I didn't know stuff, and I would misrepresent myself all the time. And finally, there was a girl I was madly in love with, and her name was
How old were you?
Danielle. So I was in love with her from 9th grade all the way, probably still a little now.
Sure.
Oh, it's deep in there,
Yeah.
But
don't meet her now. Have you met her since?
I have, and actually I'm not.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
part was
ruins
a lie. So and she got married and stuff. I was like, that's rude. So anyways, in senior year, she liked me back, or at least showed signs that she liked me back, and we would have this little ongoing thing. And then she decided that she didn't want to be with me. I imagine she, for obvious reasons.
Were you dating?
Yeah, we were like dating, but it was like more in my mind dating than her mind, I would say.
What
Like
did she
I
think?
was
It
like
just
befuddled and like invited her
yeah.
to every dance, and then she was like, friend zone kind of thing. But then she still liked the attention, and she would still like the affection that I was pursuing her with, and so it was a back and forth. She was also young, and we were going through puberty, and we're stupid kids.
Right.
So-
Women like to be chased.
Yes, it's natural, and I don't shame them for it. I like I like attention too.
Why, thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, you have my permission, ladies.
To enjoy something. He's very
Very generous when it comes to genders. But I really, really liked her. And in senior year of high school, like when it was like way more friend zone than it was anything else, I was like hanging out with other girls. And this was finally, I kind of grew up like I was a little bit more, like I knew how to do my hair, and I stole some clothes from Abercrombie.
I saw
So I was
some
getting a
pictures
little
of
bit more
you
attention.
with the 90s, like shag
Flop,
look.
yeah, which
yeah.
is big in Seattle.
I would have loved that.
Yeah,
All over
could have
you.
got me a day.
Yeah.
So I literally was like hanging out with other girls. But while I was hanging out with the other girls, this is so corny, I really still liked her. Like I was really still into her a lot. But I was making it seem like, oh, no big deal. Like
whatever.
Oh, I don't care.
I'm over you.
I'm a senior now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. I'm over that. That was junior high. I'm not still hung up on her, And so then I was hanging out with a girl, and I said her name. I accidentally said the girl I like's name while I'm hanging out with this other girl.
Oh.
And I think that like at that age, and with sisters who always give me all this like bad girl advice, they're like, that's a sign. That's like a sign that you still like you love her. She's like your, and they always
She's your
watch
soulmate.
romantic comedies and shit. So they're really like pushing it. And so
Was it in the heat of passion?
no, there was no heat of passions happening. That'd have been different.
Were you dry humping at the time?
No, nothing like that.
Just like in conversation, you called another girl Danielle.
The girl that I was like hanging out with that I
Oh,
liked,
no.
I called her.
Where
Danielle.
were you though?
Just at my house. It was like my parents' house.
What did she do?
She got all weird about it,
Oh, yeah.
because it's everybody's emotions are so heightened at that age.
Yeah.
Like everything is the biggest offense, and
I'd be
everything-
mad right now. If you called me Danielle right now, I'd flip this fucking table.
Jeff, you know me. So I had like my sister's bad advice of being like, that means you love her. You've got to tell her. Like you've got to. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, is this
I
gonna...
read this in 17 magazine.
Yeah, is this gonna be it? We're getting married.
This is the one.
So she won an essay to like, she was smart. She was like a smart chick, and I was not. I didn't even graduate high school,
So
technically.
she was definitely out of your league.
Yeah, intelligence-wise, but nobody's judging. Nobody dates people based on intelligence. People like to believe that, but anyways. She won an essay, and she got to go to Disneyland.
Wow.
And so I was like, I'll go to Disneyland and find her.
Oh my God.
Right? So stupid, because who do you go to Disneyland with? Your
family.
parents. Yeah, and
Yeah.
at that age, you're like with your brothers and sisters and the
This
parents.
sounds like a Disney movie.
Actually, funny you say
So
that.
bad.
Leah said this is the plot to Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah, right.
They're gonna laugh in there.
GD, you, Leah.
Yeah, it's like Full House. You end up there at Disney. You're like, where we're gonna start?
Yeah, we basically stalked a girl at Disneyland.
Your
and
whole family.
no, just me and
Oh,
my
yeah.
buddy and my older sister Janice.
Oh.
And we went and we looked for her and we couldn't find her, and it was like a whole thing. But then later, not at Disneyland, because we couldn't afford to go to. It was like expensive. It's like
Yeah.
$100 to go in for like the day.
Right. And cut
So-
to montage of you asking Mickey and Goofy.
Oh my God.
Have you seen Danielle?
I would do anything for that montage. I really would. Stopping for like some frozen Cokes and stuff, and then
Have you seen Danielle?
And they're not talking; they're mascots. They're like long hair. So embarrassed. I'm embarrassed just telling this story. So I finally, we kind of hunted her down with the help of my sister and like calling and asking all these like friends of friends back home. We figured out where she was going to be the next day, and I did get to see her. I don't think she liked that we came all the way down there, but she did kiss me. And so when I went back, I was like, I think it's love.
Oh.
Well, that means something. But then when you got
Yeah,
back,
because she
it
liked
was-
me that whole time. We kissed before that. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
our first kiss, you know.
Oh, did you
But
end up together when
I
you
saw
got back
that
home?
as like a success. No, she went off to like college and like started dating boys up in Western Washington University.
And she's married now.
She's
with
married
how
now.
many kids?
0 kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you still got a shot.
Yeah. Marriage. Yeah, that's a yield sign, not a stop sign. No,
Okay.
I don't have a shot, and I'm not interested, and I wish her all the best.
Okay, so you stalked someone at
I stalked someone at Disneyland
with the help of your
because I
family.
believed I was in love,
There
and
we
my
go.
sisters are
They
hopeless
always do.
romantics
They
who are
always do.
sweethearts,
Okay.
but give horrible advice to
Do you
boys.
come from money that you could just fly from Washington?
We
to-
come from no money.
How did you get there?
Yeah, Jeff. Question. That's what I was going to say. You're from the Northwest.
Yeah, Kent. You know the crappy part of Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you flew down.
Yep, my older sister's 6 years older than me, and at the time she was a paralegal, and she was the one who paid for everything. But she bankrolled and gave me the bad advice. But at least I couldn't have paid for any of that. I
Doesn't
didn't
seem
know.
very sisterly.
No.
My sister's
No.
a sweetheart.
She's a troublemaker.
She's a good lady.
She fit the bill for you to go all the way to Florida.
To
I
stalk a
should have
woman?
make you guys feel real guilty. She passed away a couple of Decembers ago from a car accident.
My brother's
Oh
dead
my
too.
God.
Whatever.
I'm
Whoa,
just saying, you guys
guys.
are saying she did it, and I,
I
just
feel like
want
these
to
are all
say,
lies, but anyway, we're fine.
No, that's
whoa,
what-
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm pouring one out for them.
Nice. Okay. All right, now that
All
we
right.
mentioned death, do we go on to with my next story?
That wasn't part of the story.
No, it wasn't.
Was
the
it?
death was
I'm
just
sorry.
like an added bonus, like a
I
bonus
am
feature.
very, very sorry about that, but way to really bring it down there, Slick
Oh my
Rick.
God.
Slick Rick. I love the way you talk.
Can you? Do you have any questions for Jeff?
Ken Lofgren, who is a fellow Washingtonian, what would you-
Washingtonian, yeah.
Washingtonian. He's drawn some similarities in his own life. His own ex-wife and he have split up. And
He
had
was
some-
married.
I guess so.
He looks so young.
They got to meet him when they were on the road. And,
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
they've actually met him. But so
he got to meet her. What do you mean
He got-
they got to meet him?
Me and Mike.
well, we're
me
very
and Michael.
privileged,
Oh,
to
okay.
have Ken Lofgren tune in with us. He's also like 0 and 100, I think, for watching. So.
Do you have
Yeah.
like regulars? That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Getting,
Yeah.
It's getting good.
Yeah.
These guys are great.
But we have somebody new commenting that says "Fear the Glowing Orb" podcast. So I just commented, I don't know if y'all know that we caught orbs in this very room. That's besides the point.
Oh, nice. Nobody seems to be interested in our stories.
And then Ken Lofgren just said bankrolled and gave the bad advice and added bonus.
Thank
And
you.
Leah says no wonder he digs Bigfoot.
Hey, that's rude, Leah.
Yeah.
I'm always going for adventure.
Yeah, oh yeah, maybe that's it.
I
Or
saw
you're
a shoot-
chasing after something that's not there.
Oh, that's deep.
Whoa.
That was
yeah.
beautiful, and I also
Dr.
didn't like
Wellington.
it. Bigfoot's there.
Sweet. Well, that was great too. That was a
All
great
right.
first story. We're
Good job.
moving right along. Chug
Okay.
a lug.
All right.
Deborah.
Second story. Here we go.
Deborah, you're
Um,
also. I think
yeah.
you're so funny.
Thank you.
What's happening?
Are you getting any of this?
I love you. Don't get me wrong.
I love it. Thank you. Back at you, babe. Okay, my second story is that one time a woman basically fell so madly in love with me that I had to get I had to get a restraining order.
Oh
And-
no.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Although I am drawing one up right now.
Yeah.
I
What
have
a
an
nice
extra in my purse.
segue.
No,
Let's
like-
keep going. I think you're so nice. You've got great boobs. All right, I'll start with a woman that had to file.
I was probably only like 21 at the time, and I was working at a dentist office, and this is in Canada, and just
happy
a
Canada
woman.
Day, by the way.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
we've
much.
been-
It's
That's
Canada
right.
Day. Happy birthday, Canada, or whatever it is. Anyway, oh, don't pay attention. And just one of our clients, one of the patients there, she became like obsessed with me. And I'll tell the people I am not a lesbian. And
Me neither,
yeah,
but
you know,
something
people-
about you,
well,
dude.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something.
Neither was this lady.
You and Felicia aren't together?
No, that's just the rumors.
Don't break all the men's hearts. Are you kidding? That'd be so sad. And the ladies. But yeah, this woman, and she was a catch. Like she was a physiotherapist.
Oh,
What's
She
that
had a
one?
nice car. That's when they
Something
fix you after
fancy?
you're broken, and you know what I mean. Like they do good,
Oh,
good
like
stuff. Yeah,
yeah, whatever. It doesn't
Whatever,
matter. I
you know
just
what I
didn't
mean.
adopt.
anything
yeah.
that ends in therapist.
is
That's right.
good stuff.
Yeah.
And like she had a nice car, and she was cute, and she was But then it started like I was like, oh well, no, I'm not a lesbian. But then she kind of wouldn't stop, and then she started sending flowers to the
Oh,
office.
no.
And I have to tell you, like to this date, that is the only person I've ever received flowers from.
Cancel
Was
the
this
balloon.
quickly balloons? I'm
I'm trying to
into it.
seduce an 8-year-old.
I know, right?
I have to be in love with her.
Oh my God! Plastic filled with someone's breath.
Oh, yeah.
Romance.
No, helium for you, baby.
Can't wait to make out with her.
That is fun. But yeah, so it like, and there were flowers, and there was a whole thing, and it actually got to the point where like even the people at my office were like, "This has to stop." Like she's
Too much. She's
yeah,
affecting your
wasn't
job.
She wasn't allowed to come to the office anymore. They had to stop her as a patient, and they were like, "This is it. This is done." And it was all I remember telling my boyfriend at the time, and he was like, "This is crazy. I mean, it's hot, but it's crazy."
Yeah,
You
what
know,
does she
it was
look
all-
like?
Yeah.
She should come to the house.
Yeah. We should talk to her. You know what I mean?
So
Over
she got-
dinner.
she
Like, don't be
got
rude.
Fired and
Like
everything.
she couldn't be a patient there anymore, and it got to a level of like this is too much. You have to
And
calm
you said
down.
you
I
were
was like-
working with her.
And no, I worked there, and she was a patient at the dentist office.
Oh,
And she wouldn't and she wouldn't stop. She would drop by. I'd come out after work, and she'd be sitting there. Hi, and I was like, oh, okay.
Did it get crazy, like where she chipped a tooth on purpose just to go?
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Pulled a bunch out, walked in. These are for you. Made them into a necklace. I love you. Oh God. Well, that works for me now, by the way, but you didn't at 21. But yeah, so it got, and that's the only restraining order I've ever had to put out in my life. I've never had that experience before, but that.
How old
yeah,
was she?
She was older than me. She was probably like 32 or 33.
32, and you were 21.
I was 21 at the time.
Were you doing comedy then?
No.
That's predatory.
Has she reached out to you since?
Do you know what? She did. She reached out, like, I think probably like in my like 5th or 6th year of comedy. The club that I worked at, she left a letter for me.
What did it say?
And it was just like, I'm so proud of you, and I've seen all your work, and congratulations, and I hope there are no hard feelings. But
Oh, that's
blah, blah,
nice.
blah.
She
And I was like,
acknowledged
yeah.
that she.
Yeah, I mean, it was written in her own blood, but it was. But she really did do that. Yeah. So
Wow.
Oh, and I think she sent flowers too, if memory serves. Yeah, because that was her thing, sending flowers.
Did she know your favorite flower?
No, but it was just flowers. I mean, seriously, I don't. Never. I really don't receive flowers very often.
Right.
And this woman, like, at least half a dozen bouquets I got from
Oh,
her.
she sounds like a sweetheart.
And you know what I mean? She was a
Yeah.
catch, but it was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
she sounds like a sweetheart, but that's pretty intense, persistent for the
It
time,
is.
right?
I mean, it's like Jeff Dye styles, but it's not.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
I flew to
And then I was-
California.
Yeah. No, imagine the internet existed when she
I
was
know.
writing letters to the
Oh.
club you're working at and
Right?
sending flowers. That's
Oh.
the flowers are the old nudes, kind of.
Oh, you know what?
Write that
You
down.
just brought it up.
Flowers are the old nudes. That's
you
fantastic.
you went to California Disneyland.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you went all the way to Florida.
No,
Disney
California,
World.
2
I've
states
never
down.
been to the Disneyland. I've only been to World.
Yeah, but my sister had enough to get us to fucking California and hotels, but not to get into the theme park that we know my girlfriend's in.
She didn't have a Pepsi can.
Unbelievable. I was like, you didn't think
Drop
this
the ball.
far out? You think adults have all the answers,
Yeah,
and then you go, oh,
I
you
got
don't
us
know.
here.
She doesn't know shit either.
At the gates.
Just at California. Is this it?
Man, we got a stalker
Sorry.
and a stocky.
All right. I
Mm.
know, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Quite
go.
a
What's your
team.
second one?
I landed my
Wait,
girlfriend
wait,
on
Deb.
persistence.
We have questions.
Question for Deb.
Yes.
What were you doing at the dentist's office?
I was the receptionist.
Okay.
Just checking people in.
So
I
if
was
we
there.
called right now, you would say,
I would be like, good afternoon, Dr. Sturm's office.
that's very
true,
good.
right?
That's very good.
Right.
It's believable.
All right.
Smile today.
Yeah.
But-
Something like that.
Persistence is how I landed my
Okay,
girlfriend.
yeah.
So this lady might have just been from the same like
Maybe
class that I was
like,
from.
Look,
you know?
and the funny thing, the thing is too, is that persistence. Like again, like you said, chased. We all want to be chased.
It
like,
felt a little
everybody-
good, yeah.
Sure.
There's a
Until
little
it gets
party
to the
like-
point where you're like, okay, now this maybe needs to stop. But at first, it's like more flowers.
But you know what's interesting about that is like
you know?
every girl that I've ever dated who I've had this conversation with, they're always a little proud of having a stalker. They're like, oh, I have stalkers. It's like they always mention it. Oh, don't. You
How
should
many
see my
stalkers?
DMs. I have so many stalkers. And you're like,
Yeah, it's kind
I've
of
had
like
to move
a,
7
you
times.
hate it, but you're proud of it.
Yeah, it's like a trophy or something.
Yeah, it's weird. A
Stalker
shitty
unfollows
trophy.
them, and then they're brokenhearted for the whole week. Like, oh, he left me.
Anybody have any questions for Deborah?
A lot of comments, and Leo wanted to clarify the Bigfoot comment was because he's from Washington. Not
Oh,
because,
thank God.
I like
All
your,
right.
I kind of like your reasoning a little bit better, but,
But I
you know.
agree. She's good for her. Thank
Right.
you.
I think she just thinks you're cute. She's trying to
Hey.
suck up.
She is. I like
Yeah,
it.
I'm
I like
fine
her
with
style.
that. Whatever her motive is.
Dennis Hyde and who was the other one? I lost him. Raver Basher. They're a couple of new listeners, so I wanted to welcome them.
Please,
They're,
yes, thank
they're
you.
chiming in to check us out because they like these guys. Kenneth Lofgren said that he was walking out of a big show in Bellevue and saw Jeff and Brant and said, "Oh shit, it's Jeff Dye and Brant Tobler."
Oh,
Good,
cool.
good to know.
All right. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah.
And then Leah said, "It's me. I'm her. I'm watching you, Deborah." And she
Oh,
also
that's funny.
she earlier said, I forgot to mention that she would like to party with Deborah and Jess. And Leah,
Oh,
I know
yeah.
her to be a straight married woman, but she has some
All
leaning
right.
tendencies. So.
Yeah, but Deb doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah, but we've all kissed a girl.
Yeah.
And then that girl's gonna be like, "Why is she just making out with Deb the whole time?" Give me
No, I
some
think that's her
attention.
plan. I
You
think
do
that's her
have
whole
an
plan.
aura about you, though.
Yeah,
I
there
do.
it is.
I do.
You
yeah.
do.
I
There's-
do. I have masculine energy.
It's been
I
3
do.
Well,
minutes.
I don't
and
even
she's
know.
already.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about you. Like, you're super funny. Like I said, you have great lips. You have like.
It has been 3 minutes since she's given you a really flattering compliment.
I mean, wait, come on. You're lagging. No.
All right. I'm not.
No, but I do get that though.
Yeah.
Women, a lot of women assume, and
And
men
I,
assume.
you know, I
Alpha
work
female.
the door here. Do you know how many women they assume I'm a lesbian,
Yeah.
right? And they'll get drunk as hell, and then they'll be all over my lap, touching my boobs,
And
kissing
Jessica
me.
loves it.
I think it's really rude when
But
you're.
it's funny because it's like if it was a man, we would have them dragged out
Out!
of the. I mean, yeah, but a
There
woman,
would
you're
be
like,
a
oh, hi,
police
you're like,
knee
I'm
in their
still,
back.
Oh God, yeah, and
Yeah.
but still, it's just like this is also
Like, I don't mind
unacceptable.
you being attracted or
Yeah.
being even saying stupid shit
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But the minute like you just all on me and I keep telling you please no,
Yeah.
it's like come
Right.
on,
Yeah.
ladies.
Yeah. Sexual assault, I think
Enough,
is what you're
ladies.
saying. Your pet peeve is sexual assault.
She's odd that way.
You're making it sound like it's a throwaway pet peeve, but it's like a really big problem.
You know what I hate? Sexual assault.
You know when they're grabbing on
right?
me? It's
I
like
don't mean
one
to be
thing that I
weird.
have to keep telling them no.
Just a little thing that itches my keister.
Nice.
All right. Let's
Okay, go.
Let's
She's
just
my key.
Second story.
I love that.
let's go to Jeff's second story.
Second story.
Also, in junior high,
Oh,
or it starts in 9th grade, and it happened into 10th grade. The same sister that
Are you
took.
just reliving your teenage years?
Janice.
Well, all these like wild stories, yeah, or like or they're the most memorable, I think. And also, I wanted to pick
we do the
stories.
worst stuff that young too. I mean,
Well, and
we
also,
just
I don't
all
want
the
to pick stories
embarrassing
that people wouldn't know.
stuff. Oh, okay.
Because I brag about some of the stuff on, Bert's podcast and all these
Yeah.
things, and people go, "Oh, I know he's telling the truth because he told that on such and such."
Right.
So I had to pick some oldies.
That's a good. Okay. All right.
So this was in junior high and leading into high school, a very weird age. My sister, the same sister, the oldest one, she's like a mom to me. Like, she looked after me. She was really great. She
How
was
many siblings did you have?
3 sisters, but this was the oldest, so I bickered with the other ones. I loved them, but we were close in age, so
Yeah.
there's always like this thing. But with this one, I was far enough in a gap that she liked having me around. She'd let me like hang out with her older friends, which
It's
I
a
thought was
different
really
vibe,
cool.
yeah,
and it was
yeah.
nice. It was more motherly than it was sisterly. So she would always be in a feud with my parents. It was always something. Like she got a tattoo when she wasn't supposed to. My mom and dad were like, "You're out of the house," when she was like, whatever age. So even after she was moved out of the house, she would have these moments of like rock bottom, and then she would need to come live back at my parents' house. So every time this would happen, she would accumulate like a whole apartment worth of shit and then like move that back into our parents' house. So she's just all this stuff. And then my mom and her would have a blowout, and then she'd move away, and then she'd come back with more shit like 6 months later. And I was like this like cycle. Well, one of the times that she moved back in, she brought a cat. And my mom is famous.
What was the cat's name?
A Lil Kitty, Lil Kitty.
Lil was
The
big
rapper.
back then.
Was
I
the
had
rapper,
an email, Lil Jess.
Oh, really? Yeah. I wonder if that's because of Lil Kim.
And she admits it. God bless her.
So, like
It was
she
very
didn't have
90s.
to give us
that
that
was very
information.
90s. Yeah,
She didn't have to offer that up.
I'm telling you.
So Lil Kitty was the joke was that Little Kitty wasn't Lil at all. It was like this big hefty cat, and my sister thought it was hilarious. Whatever. So she has this cat, but my mom and dad have a bunch of cats. Right? They love cats. So there's a bunch of cats running around, and they're not getting along with that cat. So this cat is not adjusting well to the move, and is just pissing on everything.
Oh yeah, they do that. They're
And-
mad when they're
yeah.
mad. Oh yeah.
Was it a boy or a girl?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's a girl, maybe. I don't know. I didn't look at its genitals, but I really don't. I can't tell you if it was a boy or girl cat. But the cat would come into my room. His favorite place to pee would piss on my waterbed, white trash waterbed, and so he'd pee on the bed, and then I would have like this little 9th grade meltdown of like, if the cat peed on my bed again, I'm gonna kill that cat. I'm gonna kill that cat. And my sister's like, don't kill my cat. It was like a whole thing, right?
Meanwhile, your room already probably smelled like teenage boy.
No, very clean. I was a very clean little kid, but that's a
Yeah, but
safe.
there's an odor of
yeah.
boys going through
14,
puberty.
16-year-old
Yeah.
That
boys.
is true.
Yeah.
There is.
How do you know?
Yeah.
I have nieces and nephews and cousins.
Yeah, she gets.
I
She's
like
been
the
around
story.
people.
Right.
She doesn't only know things in her lane.
Right. Even though I am an expert, we know that on myself.
Yeah, kids stink. That's what they
Yeah,
don't
this-
bathe a lot. They like
yeah.
run around and play all day, and then they don't
Right.
want to shower.
Smell like grass.
So
Fresh cut children.
that's the best description. They don't necessarily stink, but they smell like a thing you shouldn't, like grass and like. It's a skunky grass smell in this room. So it would pee in my room, and I would always like talk a big game. I would never hurt an animal, but I was like, "I'll kill that cat if he does it again." And my sister's like, "Just close your door." And I was like, "I shouldn't have to close my door. You shouldn't be peeing on the bed." And then my mom and dad, after like 5 times of it pissing on my bed, my mom and dad took the side of the cat that they don't even like. They're like, "Yeah, close your door." And I was like, I don't know why I liked having my door open as a kid, but I did. And I was like, "I shouldn't have to." And they're like, "Just close it." So I closed it, and they were
Yeah,
right.
that seems like a simple fix. You
Right.
were just being a real piece of shit.
Well, the cat shouldn't be peeing all over the joint. I like
It's
to
not
have
the cat's fault.
leave an open door policy.
The poor cat was being thrown from house to house,
Yeah.
household,
We're
you know,
all
family to
victims.
family. Here you are staying with the one family the entire time. And You
Yeah.
got your own room, and
Yeah.
you can't shut the door. For
I don't wanna. I have an open. I'm like the opposite of Steve Harvey. I have an open door policy.
Dude, no, hey, I get one to have your door open as a kid. You're more connected to the family.
Yeah,
and
and
what's
I was-
going on in the rest
And
of
I was
the house.
afraid of everything, and like I was just like a weird kid.
And you
Ninth
started
grade,
feeling
you didn't want it closed so you could like do stuff.
No, because I was like a late bloomer on all that.
Oh.
you'd start feeling targeted 5 times that cat pissing in your room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when
So-
you started closing the door, though.
So I started closing the door. They were right. The
I'm
cat,
excited.
Keep it
the
on
cat
track.
couldn't get in. He doesn't
course.
have a thumb or nothing.
Sure,
Can't
yeah.
get in. So they were right. It solved
I
the
can show
problem.
you 100 YouTube videos though where cats can
Oh
open
yeah, you wait and
doors.
see.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
You pick your battles, and that's what she
Yeah.
was like. You know? I've seen some cats open doors. So my parents now are getting agitated with the cat because now that he's not peeing in my bed, he's peeing all over the house. So now my parents are like equally upset. And I was like, if it ever happens to me again, I'll kill the cat. And I just kept talking this big, mean kill game. And then one night, in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., I wake up to go pee, and my bathroom is the one I use, not mine. Was like a hallway's width. So like this is the length, the width of the hallway. My room was here and there was the bathroom. So I just left my door open. I walked across the hall, went pee. I left the bathroom door open, came back, and I see the cat run out of my room. And I was like, there's no way that in the time it took me to piss, he could get in there, pee, and then get out. Zero
Yes,
chance.
They're very fast.
Zero chance that that's possible. It's insane. And so I was like, I'm not even going to check. I'm not even going to check if he peed, because I think what happened is he went in there to pee, and then I spooked him, and he ran out. So I'm not even going to check. I leave the lights off. I'm also half asleep, so that's my logic. I get under the bed. I put my foot in, warm, wet pee.
Yeah.
And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's either that or your waterbed's leaking, and that's a bigger problem.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't feel like this. This is a gross little warm pocket of piss. And so I lose my mind like never before, like a 9th grader on steroids. I turn on the light, I'm going to fucking kill it. And then my sister wakes up. She's like, don't kill my cat. And I'm chasing the cat around the house. All the lights are popping on. My other sisters, my mom, my dad, they're like, what's going on? What's with the language? And everyone's freaking out. It's chaos. So I finally, my mom and dad yell at all of us to tell us all to go back to bed. They change my sheets or whatever. I get back to sleep. They
Oh,
close
they
the-
changed your sheets for you, little boy?
Yes. That's the part of the story. Why am I being bullied? Little boy.
Little kitty, little boy.
Little
Reason
boy.
for that.
Lil.
I don't
Yeah,
know why
little.
that happened. So then
Sorry, you're
it's
just so
very
easy to
weird.
pick
I
on.
know. It is fun. So I get it. So then the next morning my mom and dad are like, all right, so the cat last night was a big problem. Everyone's freaking out. Janice, this isn't exactly working out. The cat you need to figure something out. Give the cat away, whatever the solution is. So my sister's solution, in a very white trash way, is she goes to the pet store and she buys this giant caged castle-like outdoor kennel thing, and she makes the cat live in the yard in this like giant thing. So for about an entire summer, like 3 months or however long a summer is for like junior high, I would, every time that I had to piss, I was like, how do I get back at this cat? I would go outside and I would piss on the cat's bed. He had like this little circular like cotton
So
cat
you would
bed.
leave your house.
I would, yeah, every
go
time I had to
outside into the yard.
Yep, and piss on the thing. And you might be thinking, well, what about in the daytime? You don't want your neighbors seeing your wiener, especially if you're a 9th grader. I would pee in a cup.
Oh my
and I
God.
would splash it on his little bed. And so like if the cat would try to go to the bed, he would like feel it and just like know that it's like
Now
I
you
have
see why it's so
no-
easy to pick on you.
Okay, if one of these is a lie, and I don't believe, I can't. Come on.
Yeah,
You know
do
what I
we
mean?
want to think
Both
he's
of
a
them,
hopeless,
I know.
crazy romantic? Or do we want to think he's a
pea
psychopath?
tosser?
Right.
Also, my friends got in on it too. They would pee in the cup sometimes.
Come
as well.
on.
And they
No,
didn't.
come
That
on.
cat didn't even wrong them.
Nah.
That is a very boy thing to do, though.
That is a very boy thing to
9th
do.
grade too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what do we do now?
No,
What
what
the people
what do we
say
do?
about that?
It's hot in here. I know you're like,
I feel like
All right.
Well,
love or
A lot
urine?
of PETA comments. A lot of people from PETA.
Oh no! Oh no!
PETA's,
No!
PETA's outraged.
We're being closed down right now.
Yeah, they're actually waiting outside.
Poor little kid.
With a cup of pee.
Poor little kid.
Poor little kid. But yeah, poor him too.
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
bed.
Yeah, but it was just an animal. It didn't know any better.
I don't take shit from man or beast.
Whoa!
That's a quote from a
These are
movie.
reasonable reactions to the things that happened to him. Flying to California,
Thank
I
you.
get it. Romantically, I get it. I'm trying to
Have
think.
you done that before, Michael?
I've never done it, but I'm trying to figure out which one's a lie here. I think he seems like a sweet
A
dude.
solid, semi-neurotic, obsessive.
Yeah, would you be freaked out? Would you?
Listen.
Okay, how about instead of just dropping flowers off at the club you're working at and shit, how about someone flew out to see you at a vacation they knew you were going on?
creepy.
But it happened on what's that one movie? Love Actually. Remember that kid like went to the airport
yeah.
and all that?
That was a documentary.
Well, but I mean, like we
Oh my
thought it was
God.
cute when he did it, and
Right.
so like you watch these movies and you think
Well-
this kind of stuff is cute,
Yeah.
and then you do it in real life, and everyone's like, "You're just being
Yeah,
a creep."
you're like, this is awful.
We
Oh
know
my God.
Jeff is adorable and attractive to women because Leah's very turned on that you wouldn't shut your door on the principle that you want to be included in the family.
Oh, that's what she gets out of it?
That's
Yeah,
what he had.
yeah.
I don't even. We all see what we want to see, you know.
Okay, so what we do now...
I'm kind of getting a crush on this Leah guy.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Leave her alone.
All right.
Oh my God.
Very nice.
Just flirty
You
into
know,
it.
I did have a cat. When I had a roommate years ago, one roommate, I had a cat, and my roommate also had a cat, and my cat hated her cat.
Oh,
and hated
no.
her. And he went to the bath. He pissed on her shoes
All
every
the
day.
time, yeah.
Every day. Like, and I would see him getting ready at the end of the hall. I'd be like, "Don't you do it!" And the look in his face was like, and he would go so hard. Do you know what I mean? Like you could see it. He'd be like, "Ah!" You're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I couldn't get there fast enough." He did
It's
it
all they
over and
know.
over.
They're like, this
That
is
was
the
it.
only way I
Only
can.
her shoes. He knew what was
He's
going
like,
on.
I can't stab
Son
her.
of a bitch. Exactly.
I
So
have
I will
to.
do what I can.
And you took my
Oh,
nails out.
Artis Shearer said that cat thinks it's Mick Jagger the way he peed all over Manhattan. That probably was a
Oh.
Mick Jagger cat.
Oh,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And Ken Lothgren said open door policy. Everything was closed during my teen years, and Leah said and locked. So
Right,
they
that
didn't
seems
know.
so weird
I
to
didn't have a
me.
lock on my door, and also I wasn't like masturbating like till late in life.
Are you really?
Yeah, because I was a corny kid, and all the kids at school would be like, "Dude, I don't jerk off," and I was like, "I don't jerk off either." But like, I just thought no.
But you were being serious.
Yeah, I didn't know they were. All, if I
Right, guys? All right.
Right.
So we're good. I'm
yeah, I
normal.
was a dummy. If I'd have known they were all doing it, I would have done it too. It's fantastic.
Oh my God.
Wait, Jeff, I got a question.
Yep.
Oh, was this kennel cage thing that they put for the cat to live out in the yard? Was it undercover in any way, or could it just Northwest Rain just get in on where this
Well,
cat
I actually
lives?
thought about chiming that part in when I was telling the story. Is like, for some reason, it didn't seem to be a problem because all summer it was like, but that wouldn't work for long. It was like in the middle of our yard, and it rains all the time.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
You didn't give it a doghouse or anything?
No, and she wasn't living there that long after that. But like it was all summer. It was in the exact same center of our yard over grass. So it could have rained on
Dead
that
grass.
cat, like
Dead grass.
overcast.
Yeah.
Poor
Wow.
cat. Yeah, little kitty.
Leah brings up a great point.
did they say?
She thinks that the Disney stalker story is a lie. She said, would his sister have been old enough to be a paralegal? He said 6 years older. Wasn't he like 14?
No, I was a senior in high
He
school.
was
At this point.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay.
a
But
senior
good
in
one,
high
though.
school.
But
Yeah.
you also did say senior in high school. At one time you stumbled and said that was back in junior high.
No, I loved her since junior
Since
high.
junior
It was
high.
kind of this ongoing back and forth thing that she friend zoned
He did
when
say
she
that.
wanted to, and then didn't friend zone when she wanted to. Whereas I was
So
always
your
in
sister
love.
could have been like 24, 25 at this point.
She was 6 years
22,
older, so
yeah,
whatever senior is,
Yeah,
18.
18,
Yeah,
yeah.
and she
Yeah,
actually ended up, to back that up, she ended up going to prison for embezzling from that lawyer. That's a true story, too.
Excellent.
Oh,
She would show
smart.
up. Yeah, she was like a paralegal, and she would show up with like a Corvette, and he's like, "How do you have?" She also like rented an apartment. I love telling these stories because like rest in peace. Like she's like, oh, use them all.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
please.
But like at the time, I always felt guilty telling these things. But she had a tanning bed in her rental apartment.
Stop.
Can you think of any more of a white trash
I-
thing to go
Yeah,
by?
we had them. I mean, you were fancy if you had them in your trailer where I come from.
Wait, oh, a tanning bed in a
yeah.
trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone owning a
Me
tanning bed.
neither. Me
What?
Until
that
my
was
sister.
a fancy
mean a
thing to do in the
full-size-
South.
Yeah.
Full-size
Like a
tanning bed in a
lie down.
Yes.
What are
Wow.
you
That's
thinking?
wild.
I don't know.
You could just go to a place for like a little.
That is so normal to me.
Just you
Oh
got
my
to change. You got to change the bulbs. I was like,
That
what are
is
you
so
talking
normal
about?
to me.
It's like it's almost boring. It's so
Yeah.
normal, to be honest.
Tanning bed in a trailer is the most white trash thing I can ever think of.
Ours
So-
is in like a barn. Our tanning
A
bed.
barn?
See?
Yeah.
See?
You
But
have
it's
one?
My
normal.
grandma does.
What?
Oh my God.
In Florida,
That's
you can't
Florida,
Just sit,
though.
you can't sit. You gotta have the air conditioning when
I
you're tanning.
didn't
You
even
can't be
know
out in the-
this
you'll die.
existed.
Yeah, but you can go to a tanning booth place.
But you
In
people are
Canada,
sport
you don't
oriented.
need the vitamin D.
Well, we need it desperately. But the thing is,
I went
no,
to
everyone
tanning
has those
beds.
sad lamps. You know, the seasonal effect.
Oh,
of
yeah,
disorder.
yeah.
Anyway.
But I would go to a tanning booth, but I wouldn't put one,
But
like,
think to
buy
buy
a
one in your
whole
house.
thing.
But
Jesus, how
think about
tanned
it.
are
If you
you?
live in the country, would it be easier to travel all the way to town
Right,
to go tanning,
right.
or just buy a tanning bed and put it in your trailer?
It's pretty expensive. I mean, it's just, I'm fascinated.
Same.
And I think people with a trailer who live out in the middle of the woods can afford a
It's a,
whole
it's,
tanning bed.
it's
have
a
less
baller
expensive.
move.
Yeah, it is.
That's country baller.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong, they're fancy.
How much is a tanning bed? Does anyone know how much a tanning bed costs?
I'm
Like
going
a
to say
rough-
$3,500. Am I
I
wrong?
think you can get them cheaper than that.
In Florida, it depends how much drugs you can
But
trade
we're
for.
talking
Oh, my
about
God.
what, the year 2001 my sister bought
Oh.
one. I mean, like, it's got to be harder to get things.
Yeah.
It's not Costco. All right.
Okay. Let's
All right.
let's
How does this
do-
work from here?
So now what we're going to do, Austin does a little recap of the
Okay.
stories. He's
Okay.
taking notes
Oh, I love it.
of what you guys have said.
Yep.
Almost
He's going to do a
forgot.
little recap.
All right, so for Deborah's story one, she's a delicate rose and just got back from Denver. She was warned about altitude sickness but didn't listen. Suddenly, she had to puke while she was on stage, so she ran off into the bathroom and spray painted the walls with her barf.
That's what she said.
And
Story
then
one.
she went to the hospital and hit on the cute doctors periodically,
Yes.
she did. And then
which is like,
I called everyone Dr.
Hey,
McSteamy. It was awful.
know
It
that
was Grey's Anatomy. I
cute butt
couldn't help
doctor
myself.
was-
That's
You
exactly
had to, like,
it.
pause and then tag the
A lot
joke.
of dry heaving.
So story two, she was 21 and had to file a restraining order against a physiotherapist woman who was majorly obsessed with her.
Yep.
She sent her flowers and asked her out, but then the people she worked with banned the nice, generous lady from coming in, and Deborah shunned true love.
That's about right. That sounds about right.
I think you should call that lady back sometime.
Whose side are you on?
The ladies. I'm more-
I think because he sees himself in that
Yeah.
Oh, I
situation.
love it.
She
Yeah.
was sweet.
Yeah, she was. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's recap, Jeff.
Well, I think we vote on her. Or no,
Oh, yeah,
no.
first.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's how we do
Let's
it.
do
I
it.
forget.
All right.
Felicia keeps us in line.
Oh,
She's
Felicia.
she's like the mom of the show.
Yeah.
You know, so we're kind
So yeah, you go. Who wants to vote first? Because I'm not sure.
of, Michael
honest with
does.
I think that the stalker story is not true.
Oh wait,
You think the stalker story
yeah.
is the lie?
Yeah, and you know what? Both were very convincing. I enjoyed all of it, but I don't know why you would choose to tell the stalker story that really isn't. I don't find it to be as
Do you think that Deborah's that good that she picked up on me complimenting her so much that she was like, "Ooh, they'll
this is
believe
what I'll
this shit."
do.
Yeah,
Right?
Here's a warning.
she goes, these motherfuckers are gonna believe anything I say in here.
Yeah, and I'm just going with. I'm not even that confident if that's the one, but I think that. Actually, I'm changing it. I think the puke story is not true.
You think the
Same.
puke story is a lie?
Yeah, I think the puke story's a
I think
lie.
the puke story's a lie.
yeah, because you had time on the plane to be like, let's see, what could I have done in Denver to be a good story for this? So,
Oh yeah.
Wow. I think the puke story is a lie as well because your aura, dude. You got it. When you got it, you got it. You know?
Yeah,
Okay, now do we reveal
because
the
she
truth
named
now?
the doctor,
Is it-
and
Yeah.
she was able to name a lot of good stuff. But when I asked about the comedy club, she's like, "Was there an improv?"
That might have been strategy though. That's
Because
the
where do you
thing.
work in Denver
But-
mostly? You work Comedy Works, don't you?
the,
Well,
No, we'll just keep going.
Oh, sorry.
you know what though? Here's something believable about the first story. Is in the flow of Deborah's act. If you've heard her act before, like she could get away with that being another great punchline to leave the stage with. If she just did that joke like all Oreos, and then she's like, "Oh, gonna puke," and then just ran off stage, everybody would just die laughing.
I'm doing that.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
it's gonna kill.
It's gonna happen. Okay, do I tell the truth
we
now?
have some
Wait,
voters
wait, wait.
online,
Okay,
so
go.
let's just go ahead and put theirs out
Okay.
there. Kenneth thinks that Deborah's first is a lie and second is true. Leah thinks Deborah's first is a lie and second is true. So this first time, I think everybody unanimously
Oh my
across
Everybody.
Thanks
is
for
in
vomit.
agreement.
We're either gonna all be right or all be
the
wrong.
board. Yeah.
Oh, we're all in, baby. Let's do this.
Usually Jessica would
Teamwork.
switch. her.
The first story's true and the second one's a lie.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I vomited all over the improv green room.
I knew I
All
should have
over it,
switched.
All over it.
Well, what a
I was
steamy
so
story to
sick.
invent
I
about
know.
this.
No, but the second one is only like half a lie. I did have a woman that was obsessed with me, but I actually ended up going out on a date with her because I was
No
like,
way.
Wait a
I
minute.
might as well. So I was like, I might as well. She was lovely and she was a catch, and you should have seen the flowers. So we went on a
Why
date.
didn't you
took-
tell that
Listen,
story?
and then we went to a really nice dinner. Then I think we went to go see a play.
Two
And
lies.
then I know that I had a couple of glasses of wine, and then she kissed me goodnight. And then after we kissed, she goes to me, "Yeah, you're not a lesbian." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like,
Okay.
"All right, fine."
Wow.
So there we go.
Go ahead.
Felicia just chimed in
Oh,
from
Felicia's
YouTube.
here.
Felicia.
So welcome to our
She's
fearless
banning
leader.
Deb from the show for lying.
I know.
Felicia said, "My real last name is Di." And all
That
dies
is true.
are good liars
Oh.
and can spot a liar. And she also added that she puked outside of the ice house once, and Joey Diaz had to come out and tell me to pull it together, dog.
Believable.
I
Yeah.
puked out here. I should have known.
Hey,
Should have known.
Yeah, man, everybody pukes. I puked a little bit ago.
What did Felicia? Did she vote before Deb told us?
No, I don't
That,
know.
no, I think she just subtly
Just kind of
was
threw that in.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Right.
Nice.
But let's go ahead and
Yeah, but now I'm
reorder those
terrified to vomit.
balloons
Anyway.
and let's add a dozen roses.
You're gonna get a date out of this and some wine.
Get tickets to something. I didn't do
Right,
that.
yeah. Something
I didn't do that.
fancy.
Okay, I'm desperate. I'm dying. Okay, are we gonna?
I
Yes.
gotta do his recap.
Let
Okay.
him do
Do his
the
recap.
recap.
I was going to
Great.
say about yours, this is the first time
Yeah.
that I've ever had details that were exactly like the same amount of stories, so that was hard for me to pick on hers. His,
Yeah,
on the other hand,
Uh-oh.
the first
Okay.
one was a lot shorter than the second one.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first story, he was a weird kid and fell madly in love with a girl who was smarter than he is in ninth grade, who finally started to like him
All
back
the
in their
girls
senior
were
year.
smarter than me.
They broke up, and he said her name to a girl he had started dating, and someone said that that's a sign of true love. So she won an essay.
Someone, my sister.
Her sister, I couldn't remember, so I just wrote someone. She won an essay and got to go to Disneyland, so he decided to stalk her there, and his sister paid to take him down there. They hunt her down in Anaheim. Surprisingly, they find her. They kiss, and he's still in love with her, and then wrote the Netflix show You.
What's the show? You.
It's a stalker show.
That's a good
Oh,
show,
yeah.
though. That's a good show.
I'm starting to get the reference.
Yeah,
But
it's all right.
that's a
That's
good
good.
joke.
Yeah,
That's a good show.
actually, Crystal is in the second
Oh, really?
Oh,
season.
I
Yeah.
haven't. Is it out?
It's not
already?
out yet,
Oh,
but I've seen pictures of
Great.
him and the
Oh, it's a
creepy
good show.
stalker guy.
It's a
Yeah.
good show.
It should be good. So story 2, he had 3 sisters, but one that he really loved. Her sister and his mom would fight.
They're gonna be sad about that.
His sister and his mom would fight, and she'd move out and move back, and every time she'd come back, she'd bring more junk. One time, she brought a big fat cat named Little Kitty back. The cat peed on everything, including his bed, and he was so mad. But his mom and dad loved the cat more, so they just said, "Close your door." One night, he goes to the bathroom
Those
and
are your words.
Yeah, those are your words.
One night he goes to the bathroom and accidentally left the door open, of course. The cat goes in there, pees in the bed, but he ignored it because he's like, nah, surely not, and laid down in a warm puddle of pee. His parents changed the sheets and killed the cat. No, they didn't. They didn't. His sister moves the cat into the yard, and then every night he would go out there and piss in the cat's bed. To
Yeah,
get
justice.
Back at the cat. Yeah.
I should also reference that I just remembered that the cat was named Lil Kitty because my sister got it as a kitten, and she was a liar. Oh, she lied a lot, you know. She tried to convince everyone that it had some weird disease or some sort of thing where it wasn't gonna ever grow out of looking like a kitten. So she named it Lil Kitty because of that. But then the universe made it kind of a heavy,
giant
big cat, yeah, which made it funnier that it was Lil Kitty. But I forgot about that part.
Okay. Okay. So what are the
Yeah,
people
why'd
saying?
you have to chime in with more kitty
I thought it was funny.
description?
Well,
Are you
except for
trying
the-
to do something here?
Trying to get the
So,
romance
like,
cooking.
I like that she believes she's like an FBI detective because she has this podcast. Hey, what's that? What did mommy
Citizens
change your
arrest.
sheets there, boy?
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh my God.
I mean,
Okay, go.
first of all, I can identify with. I like keeping my door open around that age. I
Right.
get that.
In
I
the
saw-
ninth grade?
Maybe not ninth grade, but I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I've also felt targeted by a cat.
Even as a kid, I like to put the Barbies together and have them have sex.
Right.
You want
Mom's
the
not
door
gonna like that.
closed.
And Felicia used, to,
Felicia used to do that.
she used to tape them together, put them in 69 in the front yard.
Oh my god.
Felicia.
Okay, what are the people saying? What
And
are our regulars
Felicia's
saying?
voting too, so I'm just going to run through all of these
Okay,
comments
good.
because she's going back and forth with everybody. Ken thinks that Jeff's first story is a lie.
Oh, okay.
Raver Basher says that you all sounded truthful from what I heard. So he can't
We're
decide.
comedians.
Yeah, we can lie.
That's good. Just play the middle ground.
Yeah.
Ken said, wow, we were all wrong about yours.
Yeah.
Felicia's here. Ken, we should know by now not to trust our guts because every time they go with their guts,
Yeah,
they're wrong.
exactly.
Which I was going to say, every time I flip my answer, I end up being wrong. So I know that pain
I
you
flipped
felt.
it,
That's
yeah.
a hurt. I was like, oh, damn it, I was right, but wrong. Let's see. Felicia says, I'll vote on Jeff's. Joey Diaz is one of the funniest comedians ever. Yes, he is Dennis, Beauty and the Beast, old school, great podcast. Ken says, first is a lie, second is true. There's so many comments.
So many. Jeez. Okay, you need to. we got to pick out the
I
good
can't
ones.
just-
Felicia said every night, though, he would go out there and piss. Was that every night that you did
No,
that?
it was like during the day and night. Like anytime we had to pee, we would.
That's like commitment, dude.
yeah,
is-
we were evil.
What's the longest relationship you've ever been in?
Oh, that's totally unrelated.
Yes, it is. That's commitment.
She and Ken Lofgren think that the second story is a lie. And then Leah thinks that the first is a lie.
Oh god.
Only
So-
reason I'm calling bullshit on the second story is because he talked about getting his friends in on it. Like,
Yep.
yo, you got to piss? Let's piss in a cup and come dump it on my cat's
Sounds
bed.
like you were never a junior high kid.
Felicia said boys don't do anything in a row except take long, warm showers. Don't judge.
Okay.
So the entire summer you did the peeing.
We did it a lot. I mean, we'd probably forget for like moments at a time, but I remember that whole summer we would be evil enough to do that.
Who wants to vote
Guys.
first on this one?
Yeah, if
Oh.
you're
Will
picking
you-
based on me saying
Okay.
every
Wait,
night,
Deborah
it wasn't
is-
every night.
Okay,
Really
it's killing
itching
me.
here.
It's
Okay.
because I really don't know which one. I want to believe that one of them is a lie. I want to believe that the pee is a lie.
Okay.
I want to believe that it is, but I
That makes
don't
you think it's
it
the
is.
Truth.
I'm gonna say the first one is a lie. I'm gonna say that the true love is a lie. Whoa, that was a lot. That was a
yeah.
lot. You see what I just did there?
Don't
That was a
put
lot.
that on
That
us.
was a lot.
Just because that didn't work
Save it
out
for
with
therapy,
Danielle.
DJ.
Oh, way to kill all of our
Yeah,
dreams.
all right. So yeah, I'm saying first story is a lie.
Okay, your votes?
Oh my god.
What's Michael think back there?
I'm going first story is true. I enjoy believing the romanticism that is young Jeff flying across the country to kiss this broad.
Okay.
South.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can totally see as to where that one would be true. Like I probably would have done something like that around the same age. Like I was that obsessive, and probably still am. So I'm gonna have to say that one is true, even though I really want the pee and on the cat bed story to be true.
You
so.
want it to be true?
That's
funny.
hilarious. Yeah, that'd be a great
No, it's
story.
not. Now, see, I would think that the second one was true if you had been more redneck, but you don't even think tanning beds are a thing to be.
I was
true.
pretty judgmental of the tanning bed. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's different. There's a spectrum of white trash. You know,
What
it's
did I
not.
say?
We're not all the same.
I said I think that the first one is a lie and P is true. Is that what I said?
You said the first story.
Yeah, you said true
Yeah.
love's a
Okay,
lie.
Okay, I did.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
It's quick. My turnaround is very quick. Okay, go on.
Jesus. I'm going to say that the first one is true. You did go to Disneyland. You did seek true love. Unfortunately, you haven't found it yet. But none of us have.
Mine's turned into like weird wisdom.
So you think the second
did a
story's a
thing.
This is
lie?
the episode we all
Yeah.
cry.
You did a thing, and then now they're all like, and I just want to put it out there. What is success?
Love is, you know. Oh my
Love
God.
is a tanning bed.
In your barn.
It's fleeting.
Okay.
All right,
Which
so you
one?
ready
So
to
you
know?
say you think the P is a lie?
I think that, the
Okay.
P is a lie.
Oh, I'm
P is a lie.
I'm lit. I'm dying.
It's
So
such
you
a
and
fun
you and
game.
Felicia are on the same page. You both think the second
Okay.
story is a
Yep.
lie.
Okay. Should I? Is it time?
Yes.
I think this is it.
All right. So the peeing on the cat story is true.
Ah!
100% true. With literally no, I didn't stray from that truth 1 bit. However, the story about the Disneyland thing is an episode from Boy Meets World. And the reason I picked the girl's name Danielle because the girl that I was in love,
Daniel Fishel. That's
yeah,
what I was gonna think.
Danielle is Topanga's real name.
Shut
Oh
up.
my god.
Also, Janine was the girl that I was madly in love with, and I did a bunch of like
Damn
corny
it.
romantic things, but
Fucking Janine.
never that.
Man, I knew it. I should have went with that.
Did you really have buddies that would get in on it? Like,
Yes.
yo, let's go piss on
I
the
knew
cat's
that.
bed.
I knew that.
That
I
is
was like, I know-
hilarious. That is
because
very
it-
funny.
but we
Already
still,
a
like, we would, like,
comedian
pee
in
in
your
a
ninth
cup.
grade. I know that you must have been the king for the
Yeah,
summer.
yeah.
They're like, guys peeing on the cat. Let's go. I mean,
Seriously,
there's no way.
I was like a legend for doing all the wrong things.
Yes.
They were
I'm
like,
sure of
that
it.
guy's the rules.
Oh
They'd be
my
like, Jeff,
God.
read in front of the class. I'm like, reading's gay. And they're like, putting me on their shoulders. They're like, he's a legend. He's our leader now. It's true.
Wow. Love is a tanning bed. It'll burn you.
That's right. Every time.
Table flip. Table
Yeah.
flip. Mic drop.
Love is a
There we
tanning
go.
bed. Name of the episode.
It's
Thank
only
you.
good for 8 minutes.
Write that down, Felicia. Love is a tanning bed.
Oh my God.
Are people
Okay.
upset with me that I lied about
They're on a
I
little
know
bit
that
of a
you
delay,
peed on
so.
a cat, maybe, but
Well,
other than that,
I peed on the cat's bed. He
Not
peed on my
directly
bed.
on the big cat. Yeah.
Yeah, he
it was-
peed
yeah.
on my bed.
Guys,
how
I
do we
feel-
usually
I
end the
feel
show?
So
We'll get
great.
everybody's information. Where can we guys find you online?
Oh, God.
This week is this live? So this week I'm headlining the Irvine Improv. Next week I'm at the American Comedy Company in San Diego all weekend, and then just at JEFFDYE for everything.
Fantastic. Find me at Debra DG on Instagram. That's the best place.
Debra
And that's
DG.
DEBRADG.
Michael,
DG.
what's your stuff?
Hi, sorry, I'm back. High Five Michael on Instagram, HIGHFIVE Michael.
Loves high fives.
Yeah.
I'm the Austin Walker on everything, and of course our Instagram is Liars Club 1, and our Twitter is Liars_Club. Please subscribe to us on YouTube because we're putting a bunch of stuff up on there and on the comedy stores. And I think that's all I got.
yes, thank you guys for watching.
And we miss you, Felicia.
We
Feel
do
better.
miss Felicia. I was going to say make sure you watch Pervs on Amazon because Felicia directed that. and it's really good. It's got Joey Diaz and.
If I married Felicia, she wouldn't have to change her name or anything. It'd just be easy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
Die. I mean, she doesn't use it anyway.
she doesn't use
But
it.
her ID probably says die.
You'd probably make a good Jeff Michaels.
No, I don't want to change my name. The whole perk was that nobody had to change their name. Hey, I can marry Felicia. That would be inconvenient for me. I'd have to go to the DMV.
You guys, you can follow me at Jess Wellington 2 on everything. Thank you guys for listening.
Sorry, Leah said we'll talk Bigfoot later, Jeff, I guess.
I'm sorry. No, it was just that we have the same last name. Don't take it personal.
Could you say it like really, really, really quick? What is your thoughts on Bigfoot?
To Leah, just say it right into the camera.
He's
so it's
100% real. There's a bunch of monkeys that live in the woods, and everybody thinks it's so crazy that there's big monkeys that live all over the world.
All right, there it is, guys.
There we
You
go.
got it.
That
Straight
was
from
fun.
the
Thanks, guys.
horse's mouth. You guys, you've been lied to.